Over 100,000 chemicals are registered in the EU, and between 30,000 and 70,000 are used daily, most ending in the ocean. Contaminants of emerging concern comprise a vast array of substances that are not necessarily new, but have recently been detected at concentrations significantly higher than expected and may pose adverse effects on the marine environment and human health. Besides, they still are not well characterized and are not under regulation. There is an urgent need to assess their concentrations and impacts on the ocean, together with climate change and the loss of biodiversity, what is known as a triple planetary crisis. OneBlue, coordinated by CECs, brings together 18 institutions. "20 research groups from 11 European countries and more than 100 researchers from different fields. 9 sampling campaigns will be carried out on board 5 research vessels to study the Arctic and Atlantic Oceans and the Mediterranean Sea. Samples of seawater at different depths, soil, and biota will be collected together with the measures of psychochemical parameters. In addition, samples from a biobank of marine species from incidental entanglements will also be investigated. More than 800 samples will be studied by advanced chemical analysis and state-of-the-art ecotoxicological bioassays, effect-directed analysis, and metagenomics to establish the levels and effects of emerging contaminants. A CEC marine database will host new data generated in OneBlue and collect previous data, and it will be developed under the FAIR principle. OneBlue will develop new approach methodologies based on marine species that, combined with chemical analysis, will be used to establish tire effects-based monitoring approaches for ocean research. OneBlue will also provide new technologies such as an ultrasonic actuator for microplastic and nanoplastic online sampling and sample enrichment, a remote autonomous sensor based on enrichment by covalent organic frameworks, and surface-enhanced Raman scattering for online assessment of antibiotic residues. One of the project steps forward is to study the combined effects of emerging contamination and climate change. These studies will be carried out in marine meso and microcosmos under controlled conditions. The effects of mixtures of contaminants will be studied in different conditions of temperature, salinity, and acidification to assess the impacts of emerging contamination in conditions modeling the future effects of climate change. The results of OneBlue will be to provide improved knowledge and consistent and available data, new technologies for studying emerging contamination in the ocean, new approaches for sampling and remote sensing, a decision support system for assessing and forecasting the combined effects of climate change and contamination, the main drives of what is known as the triple planetary crisis, and to have the necessary impacts on researchers and the scientific community, policymakers, coastal authorities, regulators and marine conventions, and society in general to protect the ocean. Finally, OneBlue will provide safety guidelines and recommendations to move towards achieving clean, unpolluted oceans and seas.